what's your biggest strength as a leader? So one weakness you are still working on.
I think ability to tell a lie convincingly.
A book that changed the way you lead.
There are many, but Srimad Bhagavad Gita, I think. Still, I can say that so much in that still I'm learning more and more things. Every time I read, I'm not reading it too frequently, but many things we can learn.
Biggest leadership myth in your opinion?
I can say that if there is some people say that leadership is physically very attractive and you like or you like. No, not necessary.
The work-life balance in one word.
I think seesaw. Something else up like that.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Voices of Change, a global leadership series. In today's podcast, we will be having another leader with us who will be sharing his insights and his experiences, how he led the world to become a better world. So here today we have Dr. Amarjeet Singh. We welcome you, sir. So Professor Singh is a distinguished public health expert and a former professor of the Department of Community Medicine and School of Public Health at Postgraduate Institute of Medical Education and Research, Chandigarh. With a career dedicated to improve the health system and promoting the community well-being, he has made extensive contribution being a teacher, being a mentor, a researcher and an innovator. Professor Singh has impressive academic background with more than 300 research articles, 160 books, more than 38 books and 150 chapters in the book. He has successfully completed more than 65 research projects, influenced the health policies and practices in India. If I list out some, there are demedicalization of women health, health promotion, care of the dependent and elderly, salutagenesis, food safety, and patient-centered care. So innovation has been a heart of his work. If I talk about Professor Singh, his novel ideas like the multi-purpose behavior therapy room in the outpatient department was a huge success and is still running in the PGIMER Chandigarh. Beyond academic contribution, Professor Singh initiated impactful community initiatives during the COVID-19. The Salam Namaste campaign was a big hit. Along with that, he was involved in training the food street vendors, and his vision had led to development of street vendor cards, which has been publicized and is extensively used in the state of Punjab. He, as a mentor, has guided numerous professionals and spearheaded unique projects such as the DST e-knee school. So today, Professor Amarjeet Singh continues to inspire the next generation of public health and share his ideas, vision and research. And today we have the opportunity to speak to Professor Singh. So today, sir, it's a very good day and we thought of interacting with you. So my questions will go one by one, and so you can share your personal experiences, your personal and professional experiences with us. So my first question is, in your opinion, what are the key qualities that define a successful leader, and how these qualities has shaped you to become a leader? And go ahead with your leadership journey.
As we usually say, we cannot say only a single quality. We usually say that more than 20 qualities, more than 30 qualities are there.
Okay.
Like for me, the first and foremost is honesty, hard work, and simplicity. It is never say die approach, always looking for some new way of doing things. So there are many qualities, and I think I will use examples. And this quality will automatically come from many of these you have already enumerated. And I'm not wrong if I take the name of Dr. Sonu Goyal first. A leader should be ready to fight for whatever he thinks is right to do. And Dr. Sonu Goyal is a good example. Like long back, we thought about when there was an outbreak in Himachal of plague. So some investigations were done, reports were there in the media, but we thought that something is missing. So we developed a project with Dr. Sonugal was the principal investigator. We submitted the project to IPHMDP, and as usually happens, plague is a stigma. So the project was rejected. So it was presented in a meeting. No reason was given that why it was rejected, whether objectives are not good, methodology was not good. So Dr. Sonu then again presented the same thing in the next meeting. So it happens, if I remember correctly, in the third meeting, rejected twice. In the third meeting, somehow, luckily, it was approved. And believe me, the investigation which we carried out, and Dr. Sonu leading all the way, his subordinate, our field worker, social worker, it was a socio-experimental study of plague. And many new things were brought out in that which are not there in the official reports earlier. And these are published internationally. And for me, that was a very great project. So the quality which emerged is that fight for, if you think you are right,
Yes.
you think your idea is good, so never say die approach, which is there in Dr. Sonu. And he led the team. And the team did wonders. They even went to the caves from where the plague originated. So, story is long. So that is, I think, one. Second example, I will take. You have mentioned about multi-purpose behavioral therapy room.
Yes.
I joined PGI in 1988 June, and within 1 year of my joining, I submitted a proposal to the director and copy to Dean that we should open a family clinic, because being in community medicine, usually we are not welcome in the hospital. And there is one Dr. Prema Bali, I believe she is still alive. She was in Center of Community Medicine, AIMS. She was running a family clinic in Department of Community Medicine. It is known as Center for Community Medicine in AIMS, Delhi. So I like that idea very much. So I'll be honest that I copied that idea, submitted a proposal, and again, as usually happens, it was rejected. And the dean called me to his room, and he said that we read your proposal of family clinic, running a family clinic by your department, but the Department of Secretary is already running a family clinic. I was surprised. Without any bias towards Secretary Department, usually there is a stigma attached to that. Why would family clinic should be run by a Secretary Department? But I gave this argument, but there was no response, and that idea was rejected. So just remember, 88, 89, the idea was there. It lingered in my mind, we can say that back burner, it was on the back burner. And luckily or unluckily, when I joined Dr. Rajesh joined, there were no students, PG students. There was no MD. We were teaching nursing students. So I was co-guide in many for many MSc nursing students. And for my good luck, Dr. Santosh Kumari, who won the prestigious President Award in 2011, I think, on her work on urinary incontinence. So I was his guide for her dissertation on uterine prolapse. So that was, I think, in '96. So somewhere around in 2003 or 4, she submitted her PhD protocol. We submitted on prevalence of uterine prolapse and related factors. So that thing was rejected. For PhD, they said prevalence study is not good. We were very angry, we were disappointed. We came out, both of us, Santosh and myself. And while descending the steps of the care of block director office, we thought that we will do some intervention study. And since prolapse cases in her MSc dissertation, 80% had incontinence. So we thought, why not do that? And that became the beginning. I say my career began. I usually say that I am all because of my students, like you. So I learned from students, and we submitted it to, again, PhD protocol on urinary incontinence, Kegel exercise, RCT. That was my first RCT. Remember, I did my MD in '83, and after 20 years, I am doing my first RCT through my student. So that was such a good project that it more than 60% women have incontinence, and more than 80% relief can be obtained without using any medicine. And you mentioned about that book on demedication of women's health. So that idea started from there. The book emerged, I think, in 2012 or so. So the thing I wish to say is that it is leadership or whatever you say as a teacher, as a mentor, you mentioned, that you should not leave the idea if there is some hurdles or whatever. So that was the story of this. Then after incontinence, we submitted the project to Department of Biotechnology. It was sanctioned, and it was later we thought, why not? Why only incontinence? Let us go for prolapse, menopause, antenatal cases, constipation, or many things with which women are suffering, more than 10%. That is the prevalence. So that was the genesis of multi-purpose physiotherapy room, which, as you say, is quite successful.
So to our audience, so is this room is still functional if somebody wants to
No,
come?
I was coming to that. The point is that the idea was appreciated. It was not easy. Again, as I said, we are not welcome in hospital. I am very frank on that. So, as a leader, if we assert ourselves, if I had asserted myself and had gone to gynae department that I want to run a clinic like that, I'm sure I would have been rejected. No, you are not welcome. So somehow the idea came to my mind that I am very thankful. I must name Dr. L.K. Dhaliwal, Dr. Lakbir Dhaliwal, who was the head at that time, with whom I did a project on infertility in '89. So she was a nice lady, and then for her successor, Dr. Valika Suri, he was also the head of gynae. I am thankful for both of them. So I requested Dr. Dhaliwal that I want to run this. So Dr. Again, the quality of leadership. She could have decided on her own that let Dr. Amarjeet run this clinic. She said, no, that so many faculty are there, they may not like the idea, senior resident, junior resident. So she said, doctor, you come and brief our faculty. So I went there, just a few slides, not more than 5-6 slides, and whole room is there, SR, JR, and faculty, all are sitting. I said that we are going, this is our proposal, that any lady with incontinence, if she comes, you refer to us, we will do this, we talk about bigger exercise and conservative therapy and the medicalized approach. And this will be helpful for the clinic because so much rush gynae department all over the world is very crowded, particularly in India. So I felt that we wish to reduce your headache and burden, and all credit will be yours. You just need a room. Again, somehow that room was belonged to psychiatry, 50% psychiatry, 50% gynae. So she was generous enough, everybody agreed. We started the room. And again, patience and another quality of leadership. When we started, the response was not good. Though in meeting they agreed, they did not refer immediately. They did not start like that. Today we started, tomorrow they are referring. No. So Dr. Dhaliwal started referring. She was the head one by one. So then, like theory of diffusion of innovation, first initially there was less response, then it was crowded. And here I must take the name of again my student, Dr. Ruchi, Dr. Purnima Kaushal, Dr. Meenakshi Sharma, who started that. Then Isha Bajaj, Neha, Prerna, all of them, and later on all my PhD students like Isha Preet, I think Amudeep, Janvi, Devendra, they all joined, and Fisha also. So they all were coming to that room, teaching, we adopted a family approach, teaching the women, their mother-in-law, their husband, their children. So that is how it evolved.
So I think to the audience, you yourself can see that the qualities of a leader, sir, himself reflects so well. I think the teachers, when they mention about their students, I think that's a huge encouragement for the young leaders who are in their journey. So, sir, I think you have given wonderful examples how you thought of an idea and how that idea evolved and now it is a successful implementation. So my next question would be that if you can share with us one of the biggest challenge you have encountered and how you navigated that challenge and what learnings you have learned so that you can share with the audience.
So I'll come to the challenge also. Challenge was this also because as you mentioned that is it still continuing MPPT room,
Yes.
particularly therapy room. the one strategy, somehow I'm not using this deliberate study, it comes to my mind like that. Dr. Pradeep Sarkar, who is the senior most physiotherapist in PGI, I'm coming from his room only. I'm going there daily for my wife's treatment. And he did PhD under me. Again, remember, I mainly worked on women's health.
Yes.
So, another quality of leadership is that usually in India, what happens, I was a victim of that earlier. We do research on this topic, then jump on that topic, and then other topic. So, I gradually, through Dr. Santosh, again my student, I focus on women's health only. The credit, I think, goes to her that successful thesis, which was published internationally.
So that
Journal of
gives the continuing in the field of women health.
That is why the book came. I think 3 books on women's health, and the question about the continuation of that. So I because Kegel exercise is a physiotherapy technique. So since Pradeep was my friend, I was his PhD guide. So I used to call him to MPV. I told him that all credit should go to you, physiotherapy department. I was joking that all physiotherapy thing I have taken, but credit should go to you. It is, why don't you do something on that? So he used to come, his students also came and they saw. I also invited the nursing students, Dr. Sukhpal and Avinash Khanna. So their students also used to come to our room. And through that room, I can tell you at least 15 theses emerged from that. Nursing thesis, PhD thesis through that room only, with support of gynae. So now the present day, Dr. Pooja Sikka is a faculty. I think she is a teaching professor in gynae now. Dr. Pradeep Sarkar, he is completed. He is the first person to do PhD on maternity preparedness through physiotherapy technique in India. And he is appreciated everywhere. With Pooja Sikka, he is continuing that urinary incontinence therapy. They have a departmental project, RCT, and the first phase of the project is over. Besides that Kegel exercise, they are using some instrument also, which is used, I believe, intravaginally, some vibration or something. I don't know the details, but results are quite good. And the challenges, like you mentioned, that challenges are many.
The biggest challenge, if strikes in your mind, want to share with the audience?
I would say, I think that nobody likes you to succeed. That I will be very frank. Whether you are a leader or not, whether you are a head or not, everybody will be trying to pull you down. That has been my experience and written in books also. So the challenge, one example I can give that during Corona period, within the department when I took over as the head, so luckily or unluckily Corona happened. So some of my colleagues conspired against me and went to media. I will be very frank in sharing that with you. That went to media and one news item was published that Department of Community Medicine doing nothing, and so they are supposed to look after the whole Chandigarh or something. So that was directly targeted against me. The Department of Community Medicine doing nothing. 2 days it was there in one newspaper. I said, okay, the challenges are there. You should not be afraid of that. My strategy is counter-attack. So I did one thing, that wrote a letter to Director PGI that such and such news is there, which is tarnishing the image of department as well as PGI. I never projected it that it is not insult of Dr. Amarjeet Singh. No. The second strategy I adopted is that next day I called a departmental meeting. All the people, including those who were in that conspiracy. So I somehow it came to my mind that the reporter who had published that, I had posted on day one on social media, Facebook, that look at this newspaper, this is publishing like that without any basis and this and that. Within a day, that reporter was warned by his editor that you will be removed from the service because our image is on social media. And that person phoned me in the evening. Somehow it came to my mind and I recorded that. I am not that tech savvy, but somehow I thought there is one button in mobile phone, let us record that. So there are to and fro. He was threatening me and this and that. I will see you, this and that. So I recorded that. Next day in the meeting, I took that mic and put that. I asked one of the colleagues that junior agent that play this recording. So and you can imagine that he is threatening the head of department and the whole. I asked them. I didn't tell what I will do. I asked them what is your response, what you will like to do in this situation. So that again the strategy which came to my mind just naturally. Everybody was with me. So then the situation was that he was going to be removed from that as a reporter. So then he issued me a legal notice. So as a leader, let there be legal notice. I did not respond. But somehow I again wrote something on social media, and then he had to come to our department with the PRO, and then I again called all the people. I said, why should I deal with that? It is a departmental thing. So he has to apologize publicly. And then I said, okay, I will remove from the social media. I even wrote a commendation letter for that newspaper in Hindi. So this is kind of just one example, not a good example, but how the
So it's a real life. Actually, people do face such kind of challenges, and sir, I think audience must be relating themselves to your examples. Sir. And what the outcome which I have learned from your this is that if you are true, if you are not doing anything unethical, so you should not be feared of anything. So I think the leader is that if you know that you are going in the right path, don't be afraid because the truth will follow you.
Exactly.
So it's a wonderful example, sir. So my next question would be, what is the most significant risk you have taken, and how that experience have shaped your leadership journey?
Again, the audience will pardon me. Again, I'll use the departmental example. The risk I took is that believing, having faith on others, which they don't deserve. Some people. One example I give of the exam. As a head, I was the main examiner. Like in one case, I had faith that when you in exam you make the final mark sheet and thing, you seal it and submit to the team. I had faith in my co-examiner. I left without sealing. And remember, as it happened, I said that they tried to, the person altered that and manipulated that, and then the matter went to Dean. I said, these are not the real marks. So Dean called me, that why did not you seal it? So this is that some lesson we learn as we grow. This kind of thing. Another example again from the exam, that I made a question paper. There was second examiner. I submitted to her on email, and I said that please give your opinion on the question made or alter it if you like. There was no response. I submitted to the dean. Later on, that co-examiner complained to the dean that the question paper has been made without my consent. Again, as you said, I knew that I was true, but again, people are trying to tarnish and took the matter to the highest authority. There was a meeting. I told, the point is that when the dean called me that why did you do so without consulting me, I showed him my mobile phone. Again, the thing which I want to convey is that always keep your documentation of work. So in first example, I had the rough marks with me. I had thrown in the wastewater basket, removed that, showed it to him that this was the thing, he has changed it. In this case, I showed that I had sent the mail, she had not responded. It is not my fault. So the point is that you have to be very careful. Now, theoretically, we teach so many things about leadership management, but all things are not goody. People are like as they are. So you have for safety first. Keep your documentation proper. You should not, as you said, should not be afraid if you know you are with the truth. And you should be firm enough, you should be brave enough. After all, it is life. So why should we worry when we are okay, we think we are right? So proceed with whatever you say will benefit the maximum people.
So from this, my next question comes. So there must be a lot of conflicts in, maybe it can be the understanding of the person, or maybe there is a perspective of the other person. So conflicts arise, and during your entire journey, there must be a lot of conflicts. But how did you manage those conflicts, and how did you make the decisions in your life so that it should not be a one-way thing, but a win-win situation for both the parties?
I think the main thing is single word is discuss. Discuss. That if conflicts are natural, because I usually say during my teaching that we are not computers. So we are supposed to have different opinions. Of course, consensus can be achieved, may not be achieved. Depends. Ideas that whatever is the final decision should benefit the maximum. So whenever there is conflict, discuss verbally, in writing, whatever, but discuss with the other party, or if there are multiple parties, discuss and then you go to consensus. And where, if needed, take a firm decision. Okay. That example I can also give. Like when I took over as head, because I knew that my tenure was only up to 18 months or 20 months or so. I had been tolerating before I was the head that a very small room was allocated to me in the department, and other faculty rooms were also not good compared to this room. Now, you see this room, this is the change. Not because of me. This is because of the Karan or whatever, or because of the combined effort of other people. This is the point is that the rooms of faculty were in very rank bad situation, but surprisingly, some bigger rooms were given to clerical staff or some project staff of the powerful people. Like decision, like I said, no, discuss. But when I took over the day one, I went to that room. There are two big rooms. One room is Dr. Thakur's room now, and one room is office or somewhere. I said, it is 10 o'clock. By 12 o'clock, I need this room empty, finish. 2 hours. So the point is that that is not my usual nature, but I know that if I don't do that, things will continue like that, they will find some excuse. So within 2 hours, that room was empty. Same thing, I went down, so there were many things. The situation you see now is very different.
I
And all that, and they have done wonders.
completely agree, sir, because the tenure when you were heading the department, I was working under you, and I have seen that how your decisions have actually made this department a better department. And giving the small example of the sitting space, I think you have understand the need of the department, and I would say that it was all the credit goes to you, sir.
No. I disagree here. Because frankly speaking, let me give an example of, we were living in teacher flat in campus. Our generation is different. The new generation of Dr. Arun and Dr. Sohn is quite different. They are very active and energetic, and the credit should go to all of them collectively. The situation in, if you see teacher flat, there was only one entrance. There was problem, one vehicle going out, one coming in. Now there are two exits. When we left and other newer generation came. Same way I can say about these rooms. So the new generation is good. They are assertive and they get things done. Everybody has his own style.
Right. So I think getting the things done is another,
credit,
but in a right way.
Exactly.
So my next question would be some specific strategies you have applied to keep your team or to your staff motivated, and even making them feel heard and important.
That I usually tell others also that because we are teachers, so I had been a teacher here. So my starting with Dr. Santosh and others, even others, I usually say that whatever, because in PG as a faculty we have to do basically teaching, research, and field service and all that. So research is the main focus. So I usually told my students that whatever theory you do, something tangible should come. And example I can give is that when Meenakshi was there, she was employed in the DBT project. So that one booklet came, only 30-page booklet on incontinence, published through DBT's project, only 7 lakh, 6.6 lakh project. So all like Ruchi or Ishwarpreet or everybody or Neha Chandna, your colleague. So everybody has some booklet or some CD as a product out of that, so that their CV, their biodata is also built up, and they can say because eventually they will go for some faculty interview or anywhere, so they have something to show to this thing in the interview. Like strategy wise, I say one example, salutagenesis you mentioned. Dr. Suraj Sanjay presently is professor in Artificial Games. One thing I will say that do not fear the rejection, like Dr. Sonu's example I gave today. Rejection has helped me in many ways. Quickly I will give the example, maybe it is covered in this question or next question. That Dr. Santosh's proposal was rejected on prolapse, our city was accepted. Rejection was good for us. Then Dr. Pooja Dudeja, later on food safety. When she came, she was from army, so our FMC said that you have to only work on nutrition. So we thought of that we will work on vitamin D. So Pal, the co-guide, myself as the main guide, and Dr. Pooja went to Dr. Gopi's surgery head. We went there and said that we want to do some project on vitamin D role in this and that. His immediate response was no, I am not interested. Within 2 minutes we came out of it. While walking from the Nehru Hospital to this department and then toward the nursing college, we decided let us go for an RCT. I suggested, just imagine, it was not in our mind. Within 2 minutes, I suggested, because she, during her PhD, she also had to look after her 2 daughters in Panchkula. So I felt that she should not be traveled much, so do some study within the campus. So there are more than 28 small canteens in PJ. So do an RCT, half of them train in one way, second go in some other way. And being in army, she did such a wonderful job. Within 3 years, completed the PhD. And even today, Dr. Pooja comes in PJ campus, all the food vendors, waiters, all the staff of the dietetics department, they are just like this to Dr. Pooja. That is, rejection helped us in Pooja's case. The same for street vendor, Dr. Major Kumar Pushkar. So I just to give an idea that because Pooja did on food vendor, so why don't you do street vendor? And then I thought of street cart. So the point is that army people are so good. Till 8 p.m. in the evening, he was there in the industrial area and getting that street card manufactured by some local person. And that was again a big success. The point is that the students are so good. And again, initial, his thing was also rejected that then street, when we talked about card, it was accepted.
So here I would just add that leaders are made from leaders. So I think here your students have done wonderfully well, because I think it is your learnings or your way which they must have inspired of and put into practice. So, and sir, one another thing which I just noticed while you were sharing your experience, that you thought of the personal aspect of your PhD student,
Exactly.
which is in today's world, I think people are not considerate about, not caring about PhD, but other aspects. But you have thought of it, so it gives another example how a leader should think of not just the other things which can influence the behavior or the working style of the individual.
I'll give another example that the leader has to also fight for the subordinates. For Ishwarpreet and Neha, I fought. I tell you how. We submitted, both were in the same batch. We submitted 2 PhD proposals to the DAYS committee. There are Dean's doctoral committee. Both were rejected. Ishwarpreet was on some topic like in different diseases, how nutrition counseling can help. Many diseases together. Neha's was on backache. The response of the dean, surprisingly, she was a female. She said that This kind of study on backache. I also have backache. I am a lady. There was another lady sitting. She also. I also have backache. This is useless study. So again, we were very angry. Three of us came out. So what I did that I wrote a 3-page, 4-page letter to Dean, quoting their statement. That this is a statement you made. I said that I can challenge. This is the language I use. I can challenge that if you submit this proposal to any international agency, unbiased, in an unbiased way, I'm sure this will be accepted. This happened for the first time, in all humility, in PGI history. So somehow, surprisingly, they acceded to my request, but did not send it internationally. They sent to a public health expert across the country. One in Delhi, one in Burma. That is what I came to know later. And both were accepted. They said both are good. But what we did that Neha, we continued with the backache. It was a good study. And the issue we changed. We changed to PCOS. And again, rejection was lucky because that earlier one was good but not that good. PCOS made a history.
It is so common these days.
But nobody is talking about it. After issue thesis, many people also took up. I think a project was allotted by IPHMDP to this Dr. Vanita Suri. So this point is that I fought for that when we got this, and both of them did wonders.
Absolutely, sir. I think very good and realistic examples sir, you were sharing with us with your of your journey. Sir, have you ever adapted to some other leadership style as there is now change of style of working, or the technology has come in, or maybe the situational factors change? So, have you ever adapted to different style of leadership? We have heard about one where you said that you made a tough decision where your nature is not like that. But any incident you can share?
No, not specifically, because frankly speaking, my view is that books tell you something. There are so many courses of which I am also part. All this is training, books and all that. You be yourself, follow your nature, and because as you said, technology comes, you should be observant and learner, lifelong learner. That is, if new things come. When we joined PGI, there were I think big computers. Till that, I saw computer for the first time and maybe Dr. Rajesh also. Dr. Vijay Kumar was head. He was legendary, I think, leader. I think nobody can touch him. Dr. Vijay Kumar, if you read his story, he is such a big person. I learned many things from him also. He was a pediatrician, head of department, the ORS, I think ARI, acute respiratory infection, dye training program, so many, and then making of dye kit in the field. I think he was superb. But without, say, literally being taught by him, we observed him. Wonderful. Our department name was because of Dr. Vijay Kumar.
So my next question then would go with this. So who is your role model, and how your role model has influenced your leadership journey?
I will repeat, I think I am not able to express it properly. The point is that I do not have a role model, frankly speaking. Because that is a bookish. My teacher, physiology teacher in MBBS, Dr. B.D. Sharma, was there. So he used to say officers of 2 points. One, more than 90% are clerical. They think like drugs. And only 10% or less than that are real officers. The point is that we all bookish knowledge about leadership management. If I use the harsh word, is useless and nonsense. Because the books may help you, but it is you as a person, because genetically what you have inherited, what your parent teach versus your teachers in elementary classes up to middle 8th or so. They teach and later on you evolve. So, for me, no role model, and I should still say I am not a great teacher, so role model, there is no question of role model for me.
Right. think this is
And I think
humility.
role model humility is that again one characteristic a leader should have. My role model, I think, if I should take the name of Sharma ji, our teacher in our 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th class, middle class. He was such a teacher that headmaster used to say, teach Hindi, he will teach Hindi. They say he was a mathematics teacher, teach mathematics, he will teach mathematics. He was such a nice teacher. I think I'm all thankful to him, to my parents, and in medical college, I should take the name of Dr. D.L. Mishra in medicine, Dr. S.H.S. Kasopa in surgery, and Dr. Rama Mitra in gynae, and G.D. Shukla, of course, the psychiatrist who was my main guide in MD thesis. So these have been my, not exactly role model, but they were very, from them I have learned, good teachers.
I think, sir, not role models, but yes, another way of saying that yes, they helped you in guiding you in your life and making your life better and in your right direction.
Exactly. Somehow role model terminology gives me an impression that role model can be copied them. Both.
Ji, sir. So, from your perspective, what are the biggest challenge the leaders of today are facing, and what tips and tricks you want to give to the emerging leaders?
I think again I will use the thing which I learned from books. There is a term, acronym VUCA, VUCA, you might have heard. Volatility. Well, things are volatile these days for the last 1 or 2 decades. Uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. People are so confused, things are so confused, so fast changing, so we have to be prepared for that. Volatile things, situation volatile, there should ambiguity. One thing we mean this to one person, to other person, like that. So we should be ready for that. Be observant, as I told you, take and keep on learning the new things. Like the people are now talking about AI, so you have to be on that bandwagon. Otherwise, you are out. But simultaneously, one thing is that AI and machine learning, everything, but do not forget that EQ, the emotional quotient, and the personal touch and other things. So nothing can replace that, even AI. So be ready for that.
Yes, a very good message to our audience, and so it was a great discussion, sir. So I'll be going ahead with one second set of questions, which is a rapid fire round, and we will be asking you some questions, and you can answer it either in one word or one sentence. So you are ready for that?
Right.
So one word that best describes your leadership style.
I think simplicity or my style.
Yes, your leadership style.
Humility or simplicity.
A humble leader, I would say. Sorry. Okay, a leader you admire the most.
I think Lal Bahadur Shastri ji and Kapil Dev.
Great.
Second option.
What's your biggest strength as a leader?
I think belief in myself. I think frankly speaking, I never felt that I will not be able to do any particular thing. So,
Believe in yourself, yes.
Self-confidence, you can call it that, but I never felt that inadequate or.
Absolutely. So, very nice. So one weakness you are still working on.
I think ability to tell a lie convincingly.
That is absolutely a weakness I can understand. A book that changed the way you lead.
There are many, but Srimad Bhagavad Gita, I think. Still, I can say that so much in that, still I am learning more and more things. Every time I read, I'm not reading it too frequently, but many things we can learn from that. I think that is one
It's a
book.
very good book, sir. Absolutely. I think to the younger generation, we keep quoting the example of Bhagavad Gita, but we are not actually reading it and putting it into practice.
Exactly, putting into practice. That is
I think to the viewers, even I myself is going to read it and put the practice of of this book. So my next question is: biggest leadership myth in your opinion?
I think I can say that if there some people say that leadership is physically very attractive and hero-like or heroine-like. No, not necessarily. I think this is I don't know whether it is a myth or not. People say that.
Okay, we can consider maybe people think that way. What motivates you to continue the leader in tough days?
Again, I think belief in self, and that because as Gita said, do the work, selfless, without expecting any result. Focus should be on whatever work you can do. You should do.
A quote or mantra you live by as a leader?
When none exactly to that no particular quote, I can say that be yourself. And here I think I like to quote brought into a new shape. And in his initial chapters, 12 things he has mentioned that what a public health expert should do. One important thing is that be there. Just two words. A leader should be there where he or she is required. Things are happening. Be there. I think this is one quote people can use.
Absolutely, sir.
You should be there.
Yes. The work-life balance in one word.
I think seesaw. Something else up and down. You cannot say that because situation keep changing, so you have to be flexible. Flexibility is another quality.
Flexibility. A skill every leader must have.
I think adaptability, flexibility. There are many. That honesty, skill is not a skill value, but I think flexibility.
Okay. So, what is the most difficult part of being a leader?
I think most difficult part is maybe that keeping own interest at the back burner or back stage and always pushing others. So very, very difficult for many leaders. We say that they are leaders, but there's many of us, are, including me, are selfish.
One value you want to teach to the younger leaders?
I think honesty.
I think yes, sir. In these days, honesty, people don't, because of their own benefits, sometimes they make such decisions.
Honesty to even self. Honesty not in the other sense.
Yes, honest to yourself is very. One word your team could use to describe you.
Foolish person.
No.
I think simplicity.
Your students or maybe simplicity.
Hmm.
So my last question is success in your words.
Transient. One word, or you can say success speaks for itself, and success. In my case, if I say that again to my student, also I said, sir, this paper is published, successful. I said, focus on the next one. If somebody is writing a book, say my student, the book is sent to the publisher, sir, okay, the book is sent to the okay, focus on the next. The success, transient, that will be just stop there. It is ever eternal and you keep on working for the next. Because our work does not stop, should not stop.
I think we had a very wonderful discussion with Dr. Singh, and we'll be coming to the end of the podcast. Sir, any last minute message you want to give to our audience so that they can keep that and try to put it in their lives?
Very good.
Any message? If they are watching this series and they are in learning of their leadership journey.
The situation, as all of us are seeing in social media, is going to be very, like I'm saying, seeing all of you are reading that suicides, murder, this and that. The family. The situation is changing. I don't know how, whether it is some scheme or whatever, in globally and in India. The focus on your family, because this, in my age, it has been said for last many decades that loneliness is going to be the main issue, not only for me, for everybody. Children are settled abroad, for me, money is there. So, point is that personal touch, friendship, very difficult to easy to say but difficult to follow.
Right.
That social thing, so we must find some new ways, not only for me, for younger age also. Last 1 week I have been reading 19-year committed suicide, 34-year had an heart attack. So be careful. Health is first. And when I say loneliness and this family, as we say, the basic definition, physical health first, social, psychological, all. Physical, mental, social. So everything should be there. And one message along with that is yoga and meditation and diet. Diet is taking, I think, too much of hazard. I'll tell you before I leave that I'll not. There was, I think, with due regard, two female students, fatty liver, my student. Within 3 months, we cured them. Demedication, just diet, nothing else. Diet. So physical health, diet, social health, personal health. I think this should be our first priority. And you should, role model, you're talking about role model, we should be the role model of a healthy person being in public health for others.
Absolutely. So I think with this message, we are closing our podcast. And thank you so much, sir, for sharing your experiences. Thank you for that.
Thank you for inviting me.